Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Histories of Hymns, Stories of Songs, episode 19. My apologies for how long it's been in between episodes. You may recall, if you've been following these videos, that my last hymn video was a little fun side video on Take Me Out to the Ball Game to commemorate the start of the baseball season back in the beginning of April. You may have also noticed from that video that I have a genuine umpire uniform because one of my gigs is as a baseball umpire. So the start of the baseball season also meant that I got a little busier. But now the volume of baseball games has decreased and I'm able to take a little extra time to get back to making these videos. And by the way, I really appreciate those of you who have approached me or spoken to my wife and said that you've missed these videos. Not only is it just a really nice thing to say, but it serves as confirmation that I should keep making them. So thank you very much. So today, we'll take a short look at the story behind the much-loved hymn, In the Garden, and its author and composer, Charles Austin Miles. And we will finish with an original barbershop-style arrangement of the hymn that I wrote about 5 years ago for a men's quartet at my church. Charles Austin Miles was born January 7, 1868, in Lakehurst, New Jersey. He attended the Philadelphia College of Pharmacy and the University of Pennsylvania, and his first career was in pharmacy. He must have felt the Lord leading him to a different calling, however, because in 1892, he left his career as a pharmacist and wrote his first gospel song, List His Jesus Voice, which was published by the Hallmark Company. Miles would end up serving as editor and manager for the Hallmark publishers for 37 years. Miles was very fond of photography, and he even built his own dark room to develop his film. He discovered that the special red lighting in the darkroom was actually light enough for him to read his Bible while he waited for his photos to develop. One day, in March 1912, as Miles was in his darkroom reading his Bible, he came across a passage in John chapter 20, where Mary Magdalene came to the garden where Jesus' tomb was located on the day he was resurrected, which of course we now celebrate as Easter Sunday, and she found it empty. Now Mary stood outside the tomb crying. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb and saw two angels in white, seated where Jesus' body had been, one at the head and the other at the foot. They asked her, "Woman, why are you crying?" "They have taken my Lord away," she said, "and I don't know where they have put him." At this, she turned and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not realize that it was Jesus. He asked her, "Woman, why are you crying? Who is it you are looking for?" Thinking he was the gardener, she said, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have put him, and I will get him." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned toward him and cried out in Aramaic, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Jesus said, "Do not hold on to me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. Go instead to my brothers and tell them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went to the disciples with the news, "I have seen the Lord," and she told them that he had said these things to her. As Miles read this passage, he imagined being present with them in the garden on that glorious occasion, bearing witness to Jesus' appearance and sweet voice as he spoke to Mary. When his thoughts returned to the darkroom, he was gripping his Bible, his muscles tense and vibrating. He thought to himself, this is not an experience limited to a happening almost 2,000 years ago. It is the daily companionship with the Lord that makes up the Christian's life. Inspired by his vision and experience, he wrote the poem In the Garden. He later recalled that the words and phrases came to him quickly, no doubt inspired by the Holy Spirit. That same evening, he composed the musical setting, and we now have the much-beloved hymn. Miles died March 10, 1946, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He was once quoted as saying, "It is as a writer of gospel songs I am proud to be known, for in that way I may be of the most use to my master, whom I serve willingly although not as efficiently as is my desire. He is certainly known as just that, and In the Garden has been recorded professionally countless times by sacred and secular artists alike, including Roy Rogers, Rosemary Clooney, Doris Day, Elvis Presley, Willie Nelson, Glenn Campbell, Brad Paisley, and Johnny Cash, among others. And now, I'd like to share with you my own arrangement.
I come to the garden alone, while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. He speaks, and the sound of his voice is so sweet, the birds hush their singing, and the melody that he gave to me within my heart is ringing. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. I'd stay in the garden with him, though the night around me be falling, but he bids me go through the voice of woe. His voice to me is calling, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. None other has ever known. None other has ever known.
Thank you so much for watching and listening. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like or leave a comment. And if there's a hymn that you would like featured in a future video, please let me know that in the comments. Thank you again, and God bless.